14-6. It wasn't a good first half. I guess it wasn't the worst first half. The defense actually did some good things. 5 sacks of Jalen Hurts. Rico Dowdle's run the ball pretty well, but we have a Zeke fumble inside the 5, and Cooper Rush can't do a damn thing.
Yeah, his arm strength doesn't look what I remember, at least. It looks like incredibly weak. But I kind of agree with you. I mean, each team has 2 turnovers. Each team has turnovers in the red zone. By the way, that's the first red zone turnover the Cowboys have actually caused in 66 drives, which was leading the NFL. The last time they did that was in San Francisco last year.
Goodness.
Or against San Francisco last year. So, yeah, I mean, that kind of is a wash, but it's still, you're down by 8. It doesn't really feel like, it feels like you're down by like 14.
Well, the Eagles will get the ball to start
Right.
the second half, so that could be a thing pretty soon.
Yeah.
And, of course, we had the sun play a big factor.
Son of
as
a
it
bitch.
always does, as CeeDee Lamb is running a drag route across the end zone, and the sun was glaring right into his eyes, never saw it. Cooper threw a good pass, should have been a touchdown, but he never saw it until the ball whizzed past him.
He instantly points to his eyes, and then he points to the sun. He points up to the sun, and, yeah, he catches that ball, even though it was a little bit behind him. All he has to do is sit on his butt, and he makes that catch 99 times out of 100. If the sun wasn't in his eyes, I don't get it. It is, of all the things that we've experienced Cowboy football-wise through the years, this is the dumbest.
It's the absolute dumbest. And it feels like we talk about this 2 or 3 times every single season. And the fact that it upsets us all this much every time just goes to show this is trading a 4th-round pick.
Yeah.
I don't know, the Roy Williams trade, the Joey Galloway trade. I mean, there's a lot of bad things Jerry has done as the owner and GM. This might be the worst, just not putting even tint it.
I know, and you could, that would be, it's 14-10 right now, and for some reason, just looking at that score of 14-6, it just looks so much different than if it was 14-10,
right.
And you feel like the game's already lost, which it's not. You're only 1 score down. I get that. But, dude, that is 4 points in the bank on a team that is going to really struggle to get points, and it's because your lard-ass owner won't put up shade because he's so stubborn, and that absolutely kills me. I can't take it.
Yeah, and defensively, they're playing a good game. DeMarvion Overshone has a couple of sacks. They've sacked Hurts 5 times. Now Hurts is holding on to the ball a little too long. Saquon Barkley did make one amazing play where 4 dudes had him dead to rights, and somehow he still gets a first down on, I believe, their first scoring drive.
Yeah.
But, dude,
I can't wait to see, and maybe I haven't been checking Twitter very much during the game, but when you always see the still shot of a receiver that catches the ball and, of 6 guys sitting there waiting on him, and, like, this guy just got 19 yards.
Yeah.
That's what that's going to be like. Overshone, completely whiffed. Who was the guy that got completely juked out?
Oh, Kendricks?
Yeah, it was Kendricks. Yeah,
Kendricks is just tap dancing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well.
Overshone completely blew it. Overshone, like you said, you can tell he's young. I mean, he's got incredible speed, and he's can be a difference maker, but he also looks completely lost at times. Barkley got him twice, once on that play and once on a stiff arm.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm sure that they see replays of that, and Saquon Barkley's going to do that to a lot of people. But, yeah, look, it's like you said at the beginning here, it's not as bad as I expected.
No, Trayvon Diggs made a great interception in the end zone. The problem is they followed that up with a run on 2nd and 10, which went nowhere. And then they run like a little middle screen to CD on 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
You can't capitalize on that. And I get it. Look, the offensive line is not good. Cooper Rush is not good.
Yeah. Zach Martin's hurt.
Yeah.
And he won't go out.
Guyton's not playing. You've got Awesome Richards at left tackle. I'm just curious, and I know the Cowboys don't have a 3rd quarterback today. I thought maybe we would see Trey Lance do something as far as a package, or
maybe you will.
Maybe lines up in the slot and takes a jet sweep. I don't know.
I would like to see some red zone something.
It would be great, but the problem is you don't have a third quarterback, and is McCarthy and this coaching staff so conservative, thinking, well, we can't run the risk of our backup getting hurt.
Who
But
cares?
at this point,
what does it matter?
Cooper Rush is 8 of 17. He's thrown for 38 yards. He has no time to really do anything. I think they rolled him out once, and he threw one deep ball, which was incomplete. Again,
Cooper Rush makes Jackson Arnold look like John Elway.
okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. Trying to work the mechanics of that out of my head, but maybe you're right. But
it's
yeah,
bad, man. It's really bad.
Offense is not good. Zeke fumbled. It was terrible.
Oh, Zeke.
And that should be his last touch as a Cowboy, although I think he got one more carry after that, which, Zeke's here to stay, I guess. I don't understand why he's active. But
yeah, Dowdle's fine.
Dude, Dowdle's been great.
Yeah.
10 carries, 50 yards.
You know what's jarring is that as they were down there in the red zone and, trying to get it in there, and I look at Jake Ferguson, and you quickly realize that when you do a search that he has 0 touchdowns this year. You know how weird that is? How deep into the season we are, and your number one tight end hasn't scored a touchdown?
It is really weird.
Dude, and I mean, you think of him being such a big factor in this offense, but...
And with so much, CD attention by the defensive backs, you think that Ferguson would be one-on-one with somebody at some point.
I know. I think I'm right on that. I'm almost positive I am. But, yeah, you feel like that the next step here, the logical step, would be Philadelphia's going to get this kick. They probably got yelled at in the locker room by Sirianni for playing with their food too much and making stupid turnovers and things like that. They're going to tell Jalen Hurts to get rid of the ball quicker. They're going to go down and score in some form or fashion. Dallas is not going to score, and then you're going to be really chasing the rest of the game.
How hurt is Saquon, though? Because
yeah, dude.
It looked like his wrist folded under a defender, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe that's a slight break to keep Dallas in the game that much longer. Although Jalen Hurts can just run the ball for chunks at a time.
Yeah, we got a funny helpline caller that said, would it be demoralizing if the Eagles tush-pushed their way down the entire field?
Like the Army North Texas game yesterday, basically. All right, that'll do it for us. It's halftime again, 14-6.